Today we're going to look at the Boltzmann 30 watt LED Fresnel light. It has a older, more efficient brother that's a 55 watt that has a fan in it. This is the cheaper version, not as bright, but still a good light. We're also recording on the Canon C100 cinema camera and the 5D Mark II Canon DSLR. So if we turn it on the lowest setting, which is 1%, you can see that for the iPhone 6s, that's enough light to get a decent exposure. That's because it's pushing it digitally within the phone because it's on auto. But for the C100, it's not bright enough because we're shooting in a Canon C-Log profile, which is a really flat, most dynamic range type of profile to give you a lot of latitude. On the 5D, we're shooting on a neutral, flat profile, but not a C-Log profile because it's not available for the 5D. So it looks a little brighter, but it's still roughly the same exposure, not bright enough. So let's crank that up to 100%. And we see that it looks even better on the phone, not as much noise in the shadows because it's not having to push it digitally as much, and the exposure looks pretty darn good on both the 5D Mark II and the C100, which is really cool. And this is a really clean, high CRI value, which is I believe stands for Color Reproduction Index, and I think it has a CRI value of 96, which is nearly 100% pure white light coming out of this at daylight color, which is 5600 Kelvin. What I can then do is I can convert this into a spotlight by pulling the front of the light out, sort of like a lens zooming. And so you can see on the phone just how dramatic this spotlight is. Almost the rest of the room is completely black. And on the C100 and the 5D Mark II, it is pretty darn close to peaking on her face, and it might actually be peaking. So we can pull that down just a little bit, and then pull it down just a little bit on the 5D. So yeah, you can even see in those two cameras the edge of the light falling off to the left. That's how small of a circle we're getting with this totally zoomed in spotlight. And you can see there's really dramatic, harsh shadows on her and on the couch behind her.